Welcome back. You're listening to Road Trip to Roswell on a Skeptical Sunday here on Are We Alone? I'm Molly Bentley, and now we continue with Seth's conversation with Bryan Temmer, who has plans to build an alien theme park right here in this town in lovely Roswell, New Mexico.
I know that it's a bit early days to ask for specifics, but of course it's the specifics that sound like they might be so much fun. I mean, would the park employees, for example, all have to wear green makeup or have big eyes or something like that? I mean,
yeah, there's going to be a lot of theming, of course, throughout. And I was even thinking of having a skeptics cafe where those that just can't stand anything about the cover-up and the conspiracy theory can have a quiet retreat where they can walk into a cafe where all they can look at is the debunking of the cover-up. So that can be another fun aspect of it. But certainly there's going to be a lot of theming. People will be dressed in alien costumes, and you'll have your traditional men in black walking around, and maybe a few other surprises as well.
Well, what's the name of this park going to be? Do you know that yet?
Yes, we absolutely do. The name of the park is going to be Alien Apex Resort.
All right. Well, that sounds kind of official to me. If you get the go-ahead, Bryan, when would the alien gates slide open? When's this thing going to open, if in the best scenario?
Well, I would have to say probably there's been, of course, in the news, it was reported around 2010. I think that's a possibility. Probably more realistic would be probably 2012. It really depends on how quickly the planning stage is done, and then, of course, how quickly we can raise the capital necessary to start the actual construction.
Bryan, some people say that Roswell is simply taking advantage of a bizarre tale, turning the idea of visiting aliens into a sort of crash cow. Now, that the whole thing is a bit disingenuous, that it profits from the credulity of the public. What do you say to that?
Well, I personally believe that if we can bring people to a central place and we can educate them about the history of the Roswell incident and the legend that may have taken place, or the actual history of something that may have taken place, and then while they're there, you have a captive audience, and you can educate them about also the scientific search for life outside of this Earth, and also the whole philosophical discussion about, are we alone? Can we be alone? Is the universe teeming with life? My personal belief is, what's wrong with that? You bring people to a central location, they're excited, they're interested, you have children smiling, having a great time, you're throwing in some education at the same time. I personally see nothing wrong with that at all.
Finally, would there be a discount for real aliens?
Absolutely. And I predict that on the day that SETI discovers that magic signal, that the aliens will be lining up at the theme park to visit.
Okay, well, I hope that they're careful parking their cars. Bryan Temmer, thank you very much for talking with me.
Thank you, Seth. It's been a pleasure.
Bryan Temmer is the founder and the president of Alien Apex Resort. Well, Seth, would you make a special trip to Roswell to ride on that alien abduction roller coaster? I actually can't ride on roller coasters anymore.
I've had a lot of experience with dips.
Okay, so you would go on the abduction roller coaster ride.
You got it.
Sounds like it's out of this world.